It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to inspire. Our mission is to empower. And our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, that's right, the backbone, the hardworking individual, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And on this particular episode, we have the one and only Jason, who's in the building to talk about government contracting. What's up, Jason? How are you, my friend?
What's going on, man? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I just had a chance to see you not only on stage in Houston, but I saw you about 6-7 months ago, almost a year ago now. And I just love the way you not only rock, but the way you give. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about government contracting. But if you can, I'm just curious, and I don't want to sound like the guy that's throwing, a wet blanket on it, but why do people feel like government contracting is not real? It's only for a select number of folks. And if they're an entrepreneur, it's kind of hard to be a part of the contracting process.
Yeah, the lack of education. That's right. The lack of education makes somebody think that they can't enter into this space and be successful. The lack of education makes somebody think that the federal government only picks and selects the same companies over and over again. So the lack of education will have somebody to shy away from a business practice or a business idea that is very lucrative with the largest purchaser in the world, the federal government. Is that simple?
Now, the largest purchase in the world. I love how you said that. Now, here's something I'm curious about. And then we're going to get into his backstory. I know y'all are curious how to get started. Some of y'all are reading his bio below. Some of y'all already Googling the guy. I get it. I understand it. But what do you say to the entrepreneur that's saying, that's just getting started? They've been in business less than 5 years. They say, well, I ain't got no past performance. I've tried to collaborate with other folks. Collaborations ain't working for me, Jason. Here's the question. Jason, what is one of your secrets to helping folks collaborate, to even work together, to the person that says it just doesn't work for me? I got to do it by myself, Jason.
Yep, that's easy. Do it by yourself. Do it by yourself. I'm going to tell you that because you can't have the blind leading the blind. Collaborations only work if both people bring something to the table. But if I'm a brand new entrepreneur and I'm trying to collaborate with somebody that's experienced, guess what? I'm dead weight. I'm dead weight. I got to get taught by them. I got to be led by them. I got to be drugged by them. So learn the process yourself first and foremost. You do not need to collaborate with anybody with the federal government that's experienced. You need to collaborate with people that can do the physical work on your federal government contract, but not collaborate with anybody that is experienced as a contractor, because you dead weight to them. They don't need you. So what you need to do is be a valuable asset, learn the process yourself, but understand brand new, less than 5 years. Heck, I don't even care if it's less than 5 days. You ready to start right now, especially when you're already registered in SAM.gov. Let me turn my head to the back, Shay. I'm getting excited right now, man. I'm getting excited.
I love it. And what do you say to the person? And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get into his story, but you might be curious. Okay, I like that. You said I got to get to someone that's doing the work. What's one of the ways you introduce yourself to someone who has a business, is what they do? They might even provide the goods, which I know you're going to talk about a little later on. Yep. How do I broach that? Do I just send them an email? Is this just a cold call? Like, can you give me a 1, 2, or 3 steps, Jason? Because I like that, but Jesus, they don't even know who I am, man.
Cold calling, man. Like, if your roof fell in your house, if your roof fell out of your house right now, do they need to know who you are? Do you need to know who they are? Nah, they got a business that you found and your roof collapsed. Hey, my man, how much are you charging me to repair my roof that just collapsed? Can you even do the job? And how much you charging me? That's the mindset. I think people get worried and beside themselves because it's government and then it's contracting. But then they throw out the element of just human to human interaction. Nobody is walking into an auto mechanic shop that need an oil change and introducing themselves. They provide a service that you need, and you're going to find out how much is that service. You ain't introducing yourself. I teach my students the same way. Keep the same mindset. I don't need to introduce myself. if I'm trying to get you and your company to provide a service for me, and I need you to tell me how much you charge me. Ain't no introductions for that. Just tell me what the business is.
I love that. Now they're curious now. They want to know who is this guy that just says go do it. They're curious on what's the backstory. I'll say it like
Yeah,
that led to this mindset. Y'all can feel this energy coming through. The way he is today is the way I've seen him. I only seen him twice live, but I watched
yeah,
him online, and he's like this all the time. Okay, and so
yeah.
take a moment if you would, Jason. Tell me a little about Jason White, who we're listening to, Jay White, a little about your background that led you to where you are today. And that'll help frame the rest of our conversation.
Yeah. For sure, man. I'm just a guy from Virginia, man, Norfolk 757, that just kind of figured it out. Like federal government contracting, entrepreneurship basically fell in my lap. I was just working at the gas station and in 2008, and my homeboy is the one that introduced me to federal government contracts. And I just kind of took the self-education from that point through YouTube University, man, and just figured it out. It took me 3 years to win my first contract because of my lack of education and background, and I just don't have no patience, man. I don't got a patience for a lot of stuff. So when government contracting was introduced to me, obviously you have to read and you have to have patience. And obviously I overcame a lot of things that I felt like I couldn't do, but I understood it was light at the end of the tunnel with this avenue of government contracting. So I've been doing it now since 2008. My company has been awarded over 250 plus federal government contracts, and currently today we have 40 contracts that are 5 years and better. So it's not a matter of do I know what I'm doing? It's just a matter of are you willing to listen to what I'm doing?
And there's a double story behind that. So Jason, you're seeing now, you would think he just showed up at the gas station, and this guy all of a sudden, the heavens opened up. There was manna falling down. He got the Holy Ghost. I shouldn't say Holy Ghost. Everything I learned in Pentecostal church. Jason, don't judge me. My mom was a bishop back in the '70s when it wasn't popular being a bishop as a woman. Right? We only had 35 members in our church, 25 kids. I was one of the kids. That just means I
Yes,
got into a
sir.
whole lot of trouble, Shorty. And I had to sit there all the time. But tell me a little more about the story.
Yeah,
The story on your journey. I'll say like the journey that you had to get to the gas station to finally be in that position. And one of the reasons
yeah.
why you like, you know what? I'm all in.
Yeah, man. So before I got to the gas station, I was locked up in the brig, which is military jail. I did 10 years in the U.S. Coast Guard, and the U.S. Coast Guard didn't teach me nothing about government contracting. So before somebody said, "Oh, that's how he knows so much," he was in the military. They didn't teach me nothing. And then I was such a knucklehead. I got myself landed in the brig for 2 years, had all my wars me moments and stuff like that. Got to the gas station. But here's the thing about this gas station. That was one of my saving grace of my mindset because I had to ride a pedal bike to the gas station. I didn't have a computer. So if I really wanted to win, I didn't have a laptop or a computer. I had to ride my pedal bike to the gas station, living with my mama, and then I had to ride my pedal bike to the library just so I can look up these federal government contracts. So my mindset had to shift from woe is me and I can't to how can I get it done with the resource that I have right now, which wasn't much, but my mindset just shift very quickly and fast. Because I mean, Shay, you heard me say this a bunch of times too. If you looking at your bank account and that can't change nothing in your life, then no words can change anything. So I'm that old where I used to ride that pedal bike up to the gas station, put my ATM card in there, get that little slip, see what that bank account was hitting on, which was nothing, and ride that pedal bike to the library and get on that computer and hit it.
And hence you're where you are today. Now, I'm curious, where does the passion come from to help out other entrepreneurs? I mean, you're at a place now where you could take your money, do your vacations, spend your time, take care of your family. But I've noticed that you spend time teaching other folks what you're doing. When someone might say he's creating a market to compete, because well, I'll let you talk about how you do federal contracting and the role that you play. So I'll start there. What's the role you play in the federal contracting world? Some folks might think you do all the freaking work. I've heard you speak, so tell the audience a little about the role that you're playing that allows you to have a viable business, allows you to be profitable, and allows you to continue to
Yeah.
bring on as much business as you can handle.
Yeah, so we are adapting what I like to coin and call the middleman or middlewoman strategy, right? So the federal government has 96,000 contract opportunities every single day. 96,000 every single day. So that means if there are 96,000 federal government contract opportunities every day, that means there are not enough companies to fulfill the needs of these contracts. So what I learned just through my own due diligence is the fact that, okay, the federal government doesn't care if I do the work or if I partner with a company that's already ready to do the work in whatever state. Because remember, when I speak from the federal level. There's the federal, there's the state, there's the local. I'm only talking about the federal level only. So on the federal level, I'm able to partner up with a subcontractor so they can do the physical work, and I don't care what the contract is: wig making, janitorial, lawn care services, uh, uh, unarmed security, digital content creation, anything you can think of outside the federal government needs it inside. And we, as the middleman and or middlewoman company, can partner with the subcontractor so they can get the physical work done. And that's how you can be in all types of lanes and get all types of contracts for 4 years and better durations.
Yeah. And what has been one of the biggest hindsights or biggest insights that you would give to the person that says, okay, Jason, I like that. Like the idea that I can be the middle person. What if someone says, what if I partner with Jason? Is Jason looking for other people to be the middle person of the middle person? I'm
Yeah.
just curious. That's something did you even work through as well?
Nope, because I'm dragging them. That's what I'm saying. I'm dragging them. They don't know. They don't know. So all I'm gonna be doing is just doing all the work for them and me and for the sub. I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing it. So I'd rather teach you how to fish for yourself so you won't have to be dependent on me to try to teach you. Because here's a big misconception. A lot of people get into federal government contracting as a subcontractor and link up with the prime. What happens is they think as a subcontractor, oh, this is my foot in the door, and this I'm gonna link up with this big contractor, and they're gonna teach me the game. They ain't gonna teach you nothing but how to invoice them every 30 days. That's all you're gonna get from them. They not teaching you nothing else. So anything you got, you got to learn it on your own, and that's what the federal code does. We teach businesses and individuals how to fully understand this process and obtain federal government contracts, whether you're doing the work or you're subbing it out.
Was there a mentor along this journey of life that taught you some ins and outs that kind of helped you along the way? And I know it's different being a mentor than a partner. So
Yeah,
I want to make that a clear distinction. I'm just asking. It's one of the questions, Jason, I ask on this show regularly, which is of all the mentors you had along this journey of life, and there's so many mentors, what's
yeah,
one mentor you've had and one lesson you learned that you can share with the audience? And you, the audience, if you're here for the very first time, welcome. You get to lean forward as we do every night, and you get to take an idea from a mentor that Jason may have had, and you can apply it for the rest of your life. And it's
yeah,
a pretty serious moment because you may never meet his mentor, right?
yeah.
But it's something that he's using. So, of all the mentors you had, Jason, I guess I'm curious, what's one of the lessons you learned from anyone that you want to share with the audience?
So that's a good question, man. So I never had a mentor in federal government contracting. Still to this day, I really never had a mentor in federal government contracting. I had a mentor in business, and I had a mentor as being a man. So let me give you the biggest lesson my mentor gave me as just being a man. He said, be consistent. And I know people hear this all the time, but how he used to drive it home to me is I could I could have I guess like a napkin, and I'm ready to just leave it on the table because I'm lazy or I just don't feel like it versus getting up and right now and getting it over with and throwing it in the trash. Right? Something as small and simple as that. So he taught me to be consistent and do the things today that you want to do. So tomorrow you can do anything that you want to do. And he taught me that lesson based off of consistency. So that's one of my biggest lessons, man, that I just go over in my head every single day. Just be consistent.
Yeah, and I like that. Consistency is the key. And on days that you struggle with it, whether it's consistency in your health, consistency in working out, consistency in communicating, do you use affirmations? Is there something that you tell yourself to get going? Because I like what you said at the beginning, actually, that if you don't look at your bank account don't get you excited. There's not much more. I mean, I've never heard that before, but I mean, I'm like, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. I think I got a level of affirmations, Shay. Like I'm not a guy that, write stuff on the mirror. I'm not.
Me.
I'm not a guy that does anything like that. But I think I have an internal affirmations, man. To your point, if I don't have that same energy to be consistent at the moment, I think because my drive is so consistent, my drive and my energy to just seek out whatever I was going to do and just finish it, and I can rest later on that night. Like I'm wired that way. So even if I don't feel like doing it, once I get to the gym or once I get on the stage or once I get on a call that I didn't feel like doing it, I'm giving it my all. I can rest later on that evening. So I'm just kind of mentally wired where I'm giving myself internal affirmations. I might not be confessing them out loud, but I already, guess what? I already confessed out loud that I'm committed to doing this interview. I already confessed out loud that I need to be on this stage. I confessed out loud that I want to change my life. I already confessed that. So now I need to keep telling myself I'm great, I'm kind, I'm amazing, I'm wonderful. No, I don't gotta keep telling myself that. I already said what I want to do. Now let me order my steps and walk in that direction. So I got an internal affirmation, man.
I like that. I like that. The internal affirmation that allows you to do all things you're doing. And, as you're watching and everyone is listening right now, you might be curious, of all when Jason's having conversations, Shay, other than his intuition, which he has great intuition, by the way, what does he look to hear to make sure that someone can actually do the work? Because I like that idea. And sometimes I've been guilty. We have a way of overcommitting, let's say. So I'm call up the roofer. I ask the roofer if he can do the job. The roofer says he can do the job. The roofer has referrals to do the job. I give the roofer the opportunity to do the job. He shows up, but he doesn't have the full team, and something comes up and there's a delay. So it's a loaded question, Jason. It might be unfair, but I'm just curious when you're talking to folks and you're looking to be involved. What do you look for? What do you listen for to see if the person can produce the goods?
No, good job, man. Great question. So obviously, anybody that's been talking a certain language for a long time can talk that language. That don't mean they can execute. So number one, I do listen if they can at least talk that language. Number two, the second thing is I'm just going with my gut. That I'm really going with my gut. You got to remember, when I started my company in 2008, the federal government gave me a shot, and I know if y'all think I'm rough around the edges now, just imagine me back in 2008. I was really rough around the edges and super unprofessional. But the federal government still gave myself and my company a chance because I think they just went with their gut, I think. But anyway, I go with my gut. However, if I feel like once they get out there and I recognize, like you said, this guy don't even have a full crew, it's too easy for me to get them off my contract and put another subcontractor in there with no penalties to myself.
Ah.
Because the big misconception is the federal government gonna blackball you. They're gonna ban you. They're gonna do this. They ain't not gonna do none of that. You got to make sure you're consistent with your communication with the federal government and let them know what's happening with you and your subcontractor. But number two, the federal government wants to work with small businesses. It's not their job to give a small business a contract and then get rid of them the moment they make a mistake. That's not their job. However, they're not going to allow you to keep making the same mistake. So that's why you're able to remove a sub, put another sub in its place. If that guy's saying, "Oh, I can do this job," and then kind of find out they really can't do it. So go with your gut and then listen if they can talk that industry talk.
And what does Jason do for fun when he's not out saving the world, man?
Oh man, that's too easy, man. Kicking it with my kids, playing basketball or watching basketball. Those my items right there for fun.
I love it, man. Well, let me say two things as we come down. What would be your words of encouragement to empower and to inspire folks? You've done it so many ways. There's folks that are listening.
Yeah.
We'll do two parts. One, they're dualpreneurs. About 75%, 70% of our audience are dualpreneurs. Jason, they work a full-time job. They're a full-time entrepreneur. They may have family. They may have kids. They may have community involvement. They got a lot going on. So for the person that has so much going on, trying to do so many things, what words of encouragement would you give them? Because I think the federal code is a great way, what you're doing, to open up unlimited financial opportunities.
Yeah, man. Words of encouragement for the individuals working at 9 to 5 and their business at the
Yeah.
moment on the side, because I'm not going to call it small. I want you to just keep going. Your 9 to 5, obviously, you can see that it's not the end all be all for you. But keep doing it, keep being the best at your 9 to 5. And at the same time you're being the best at your 9 to 5, keep putting in those sweat equity and those hours on your entrepreneurship business, because it's going to happen for you. But you got to stay consistent. It's going to happen. Just understand, compete and be competitive with yourself. It's you versus you.
I like that. And then you also found your way now to doing this show, man. Tell us a little about that. I mean, here's a guy that was doing the federal code, doing government contracting. Okay, he's the middle guy, but he's connecting everybody together. So his
Yeah,
labor is not involved. And that's what I want y'all to hear. His labor per se on the day-to-day operations is not involved, which frees
yeah,
him up to do other things. So I
yeah,
look up and they say, wait, he's doing a show. I said, who? Jason?
yeah.
Yo, he has a show. So tell us tell us about this development and how you found yourself doing what you're doing now, my friend.
Man, that fell in my lap too, man. My show is called Wealth Wednesdays After Party with Jay White. I'm under the Angela Yee brand, iHeartRadio, Power 105 FM. They believed in me off of my interview that I had when Angela Yee interviewed me. They said my energy was through the roof, man. And my show focuses and concentrates on how celebrities leverage their celebrity into entrepreneurship, man. And I just talk to them like we buddies, we homeboys, and it's always good conversation. You can check it out on my YouTube channel, The Federal Code, and then you can check it out on all of Angela Yee's platforms as well.
What do you enjoy most about doing that, man?
Just talking, man. Like just being inquisitive, right? I'm learning as a being an interviewer, I have to be more inquisitive. I'm already naturally inquisitive, but now I just get to do it with the camera in my face.
I love it, man. Well, let me first just acknowledge you for what you're doing, man. You're a rock star, certainly an encouragement. And I love
Yes,
the
sir.
way, not just so much the energy. Energy is the front part, y'all are seeing. But I want you to understand behind that, he's running a very successful business. Okay. So don't be fooled by the laugh. Don't be fooled by the energy. Make sure you pick up his business principles that have put him in a position to be financially free, to have some security, and to have choices. And that's what money does at the end of the day, by the way. It allows you to have choices to do some of the things you want to do, not only for yourself, but for other folks. And so, Jason,
Yes.
let me say thanks so much, man, for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. We appreciate it. He didn't ask me for a check, ladies and gentlemen. So there was no credit card. There was no
Uh,
cash app exchange. I saw him one time. And I was like, I'm going to send the guy an Instagram message. So I said, hey, man, I sent you this message. He responded and said, okay, if we can make it work,
yeah,
let's make it work. And here he is today. And my last question to you, man, is why do you still do this, man? Why do you still pour into other folks? And in
yeah,
cases even like now, right now, where we couldn't afford to give you a check, but you're here. Why do you keep
yeah.
helping other folks when you don't have to do this, man?
Simple, man. I wish somebody would have helped me. It's really that simple, man. I just wish somebody would have helped me, right? If I'm trying to help myself, I wish somebody would have saw that and helped me. That's the sole reason why I do it.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you, the viewers. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, connect with us over on YouTube. Just go to @IamCheBrown, @IamCheBrown on YouTube, or download the podcast on all the on-demand streaming platforms, The Happy Entrepreneur Show. I like to share this every night before we close. I never get tired of saying it, ever, ever, ever. I wait for this moment to remind you that you're amazing, that you're so incredible, that you're already awesome, that you've got greatness inside you, and that today is your January 1st. And because of that one reason, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, in case you forgot, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. We'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life is short. You got to live in that moment, and you got to make it count. God bless. Thanks a lot, Jason. We out, everyone.
All right.
Peace.